He's so soft. I'm sure he's thinking, like, because he likes grabbing her because she's. Look, you gotta help Mama. Here. Well, look, right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Axel.
He likes the blanket.
Aww. There you go. You help Mama.
I ordered this a month ago. It was supposed to be for him.
Aww.
At first for Christmas, and then I'm gonna have to give it for his birthday. And he's like, oh, man, you want to for his birthday?
Aww. There you go. Okay, we gotta open the thing.
Yeah, I told Ashley, oh, I wanted to see how it turned out. Oh, it's wrapped. Oh, God, I had it wrapped. Open it up.
I know. Well, there's so many, like, open this one, open that. What is that? Oh my goodness.
What does it say on here?
My book to say name. Oh my goodness, I know. Oh. The Wondrous World of Axel Barrett. Look, is that a book for you? He's like, I want to play with all that.
Look.
This is one of those your name books.
Look,
Aww,
Axel.
look.
The Wondrous World of Axel Barrett.
That book just for you. Oh, how fun.
It says,
Aww.
Dear Axel Barrett, this is your very own wondrous Ink storybook. An extraordinary adventure that's all about you. Full of magical fun and discovery. Hey!
Here it is, Dan. Here,
Says-
stand up.
Says you'll learn things about yourself that makes you so special and different.
Aww.
With love, Sylvia and James, Grandma and Grandpa Temple.
Oh, it's a book just
Look.
all about you.
Look.
Oh my goodness.
Look. It says, one day a boy came home from school and said to his busy mother, there's millions of people we learn about today and each one is different. Yeah. Out of all the boys in all the world, not one is exactly like me. So that's what makes me different from everybody else. Yeah. You're wondrous, replied his mother as she hurriedly washed dishes in the sink. Then she rushed off to answer the phone, leaving the boy to think. He came to a clearing and there was a rocket with an astronaut standing beside it. The man looked quite embarrassed. The little boy thought, although he was trying to hide. What's wrong? Asked the boy. The man replied, pointing into the sky. The doorway to the rocket is too high for me and I can't get in there. What's your name, little boy? The astronaut asked. But just as the boy began to reply, the letter of his name flew out from his mouth and went floating to the sky.
Aww.
The boy jumped up and grabbed the A, then said, before you get any sadder, let me set this ladder down on the ground so you can have a ladder. You're amazing. So it's an A.
Aww.
You're amazing, the astronaut said. Join me on the trip into space today. Then he flew around the stars and landed back down and the boy went away on his merry way. The boy walked further on and then you'll never guess what he saw, playing with a broken toy, a baby dinosaur. I'm T-Rex, the dinosaur said. I'd like to play with you, but I'm trying to fix my helicopter. The blades have snapped in two. The boy began to introduce himself, but before he could say it out loud, the letters of his name flew out from his lips, and they went floating up in the clouds. The boy jumped up high and grabbed the X, then said, let's give this a try. So he fixed the letter to the toy, and then it began to fly. You're excellent, cried the gleeful T-Rex, and the two friends began to play. When it was time for the dinosaur's nap, the little boy went away. The little boy walked on and met an elk who looked quite old. Thick, rough fur grew on his back to stop him from being cold. He told the young boy as he rubbed his back in the tree, my fur's so rough and tangled, now it's really bothering me. What's your name? Asked the elk. But when the boy started to reply, the letter of his name flew from his lips and went floating in the sky. The boy jumped up high and caught the E. Use this, he said with a shout, and used the letter to comb to straighten the elk's fur. Energetic! What an energetic friend you are, said the elk. When the boy was done, he let him ride on the back for a while, and then he went on his way. Deep in the forest, the boy heard a roar and found a lion looking pain. The lion was staring at two wheels and a handlebar, sighing and shaking his mane. "What's wrong?" the boy said. What's wrong?" asked the boy, and the lion replied, "I'm trying to make a gift for my son. I've got these two parts, but I can't think what else I might need to get the job done." The little boy began to introduce himself, but before he could say his name out loud, the letters of his name flew from his lips and went floating up in the sky. The boy jumped high and grabbed the L. "Use this to make the scooter," he cried, and he helped the lion put the parts together and took it for a test ride. "You're a lively little thing," the lion said. Would you like to come and play with my son?" The little boy played with the cub for a while, and then it was time for him to move on. As he was wondering where he was going to go next, a great big lumbering bear bumped the boy, then said, "Oh dear, I didn't see you there. I should be wearing my glasses. I've been stumbling around all day, but they're broken and you see the frame has snapped. I'm sorry, I hope you're okay. What's your name?" the bear asked. Just as the boy opened his mouth to reply, the letters of his name flew out of his lips and went floating in the sky. The boy jumped up and grabbed the bee. "This looks like a frame, I suppose," he said. "Let's try and see if this letter can stay balanced on your nose." He fixed the glasses for the bear. "You're brilliant," he exclaimed. He parted his friends, and the boy was glad he was wearing part of his name. The boy walked further and met the aardvark, who sadly sighed. "I want to play on the swing, but it's broken all down one side. A strong wind blew it over, and now it can't be restored. The swing's not safe to play on, and I'm fed up and bored." "What's your name?" the aardvark asked, and before the boy could reply, the letters of his name flew up from the lips and went floating in the sky. The boy jumped up and grabbed the A, and then said, "That's such a shame, but don't worry, I'll use the A to fix the broken frame." "You're adventurous," the aardvark said. "What a smart way to help me." They played on the swing, and then the boy continued on his journey. The boy came to a sparkling campfire, and sitting there before him, a long-eared rabbit holding a sticky marshmallow in his paw. "I'm trying to toast these marshmallows," the rabbit gloomily said, "but the campfire's too hot. I'm toasting my paws instead." "What's your name?" the rabbit asked. But before the little boy could reply, the letters of his name flew from his mouth and went floating in the sky. The boy jumped up and grabbed the R. He couldn't have jumped any higher. He put the marshmallows on the end and held it next to the fire. "You're remarkable," said the rabbit. When the marshmallows were done, the boy shared the sweet treat with his friend, and then it was time for him to move on. The boy came to a toadstool ring where a small elf stood nearby. He smiled at the young boy sadly and said to him with a sigh, My 11 magic is fading because the ring is incomplete. I need one more toadstool to grow just here by my feet." "What's your name?" asked the elf. But something strange happened. When the boy tried to reply, the letters of his name flew from his mouth and went floating in the sky. The boy jumped up and grabbed the R, then planted it in the elf's feet. The toadstool sprung up immediately, and the circle was now complete. "You're reliable," the elf said. In Elfish, that means you're a clever one. The two friends danced in the ring until it was time for the boy to move on. The boy met an Indian elephant. He was staring down the ground. He was looking for something amongst the leaves that was scattered all around. "A precious red stone from my headdress," he said, "has dropped somewhere here on the ground. But the leaves are red too, and I just can't see the stone. It's nowhere to be found." The boy began to introduce himself, and before he could say it out loud, the letters of his name flew from his lips and went floating in the clouds. The boy jumped up and caught the E. "Let's use this," he said with a smile. He tied the letter to the fallen branch and raked the leaves. "You're enthusiastic," the elephant said, and soon they uncovered the stone. The boy put the stone back on the headrest, and then it was time for him to move on. The boy walked on and saw a tiger surrounded by large planks of wood. He had a box of nails in his paw and was wailing, "Well, this is no good. I wanted to build a tree house where my little cubs can play, but it seems that I've lost my hammer. I've been looking for it all day." The boy began to introduce himself, and before he could say it out loud, the letters of his name flew from his lips and went floating into the clouds. The boy jumped up high and grabbed the tea, then said, "There's no need to wail. Let's hammer using this letter and not all those nails." "You're terrific," said the tiger. When all the hammering was done, the boy played with the cubs for a while, and then it was time to move on. The boy jumped up. The boy walked on and saw a wizard beside a large black pot. He was making magic potion. There was purple and bubbling. The potion should be brilliant blue. The wizard said miserably, "It needs to have one more ingredient, but I don't know what it might be." The boy began to introduce himself, but before he could say it out loud, the letters of his name flew from his lips and went floating in the clouds. The boy jumped up and grabbed the tea, then said, "Let's give this a try." He dropped the letter into the potion, and it turned into as blue as the sky. "You're thoughtful," the wizard said. "That means you're magic like me." The boy made more potions with his new friend, then went on his journey. The little boy smiled as he thought of all the friends he had made in the forest that day, but now he was tired and missing home. If he only knew the way. He didn't know if he could find his way out. Was he brave? Was he clever enough? Then he thought of all the praise that his friends had given him and began to feel really tough. He took a deep breath, walked right up to a particularly frightening tree. "I'd like to get out of the forest," he said. "Could you point me a way out?" The tree groaned and moaned, but slowly it moved all the branches to point one direction, and there were other trees pointed out to whenever he asked one the same question. As they were leaving the gloomy forest, guess who he met standing outside? It was his mother, who seemed very worried. "I've been looking for you," she cried. The boy told her all about his adventures. "You got it," his mother explained. The true meaning of wondrous, and also the meaning of your name.